Lord Jesus. You call me to do one thing. It's be just like you. Lead your disciples like you led your disciples. But you didn't say it was gonna be easy. Hey yo, I've been going through some things for a while now. Deep cuts, been bruised, can't even smile now. It's a shame the way I walk with my head hang down. I know I'm going through a change cause I can't even frown. Jesus set me free cause I'm stuck in these ways. It's like 100 degrees stuck in a cage. Joy cometh in the morning so I flip the page. Wisdom's given from the Lord, it don't come with age. I know it's things I did in life that I can't take back. I made a vow with my wife and I can't break that. I know we struggle with the demons saying shake that. I don't do the things that I love and I hate that. Jesus paid the debt for me that I can't pay back. They beat you worse to the meat than a slave's back. You are my hero, numero uno. I'm about to take this flesh to the grave funeral. I hope you know that can't nobody do it like the way that Jesus did it for me. I hope you know that I'm never gonna die, only cause how Jesus did it for me. I hope you know that can't nobody do it like the way that Jesus did it for me. I hope you know that I'm always gonna fly, only cause how Jesus did it for me. I got called for only one reason. Preach his name with love in every season. Teach these dudes his name and believe him, that he lives on and he will reach them. A lot of people say that they don't see change. Well, I seen change here, bruh, so peep game. I doubt that I would never ever mess with these lanes, but now I'm giving all the gospel till he came. The kingdom is a treasure to me like a jackpot. Addicted to Christ and his word like a crack rock. I blow a wuss cover, call me Madlock. Lock myself out, Jesus got the padlock. The kingdom is a treasure to me like a jackpot. Addicted to Christ and his word like a crack rock. I blow a wuss cover, call me Madlock. Lock myself out, Jesus got the padlock. I hope you know that can't nobody do it like the way that Jesus did it for me. I hope you know that I'm never gonna die, only cause how Jesus did it for me. I hope you know that can't nobody do it like the way that Jesus did it for me. I hope you know that I'm always gonna fly, only cause how Jesus did it for me.
Yo, welcome to Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. You just finished listening to Jesus Did It by Jay Steeler.
Yeah.
We are here live, rapfestradio.com. If you're listening to us, please take a moment, join the chat room. It's free to join the chat room.
Log in.
Alice is there holding it down. So if you have any questions throughout the course of the night, feel free to just hit us up. Yep. And we'll make sure somebody answers them, or maybe we don't. We could do
we'll
that.
see.
We can do that. Why not? Yo, we're excited. Eli's here.
What's going on? God bless you guys.
Every week.
Every week.
Been going good, huh?
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Getting used to it.
You getting used to it? Nice. Change up your Monday night schedules?
Of course.
Nice.
Of course.
But Unique Eli is here.
Yeah,
Tee Holmes is in the building.
What's going on, y'all? Peace.
I'm sure a lot of people are like, Tee Holmes, who the heck is
Nobody knows
Tee
who I
Holmes?
am.
That's the best way, though.
That's
the best way.
Great. I want to keep it like that.
That's the best way. Tee Holmes is a good friend of ours, man. We've connected years ago. Where we did Rap Fest over in Arthur Avenue with Nikki Cruz, The Truce. Wow, that was a big rap fest. Come to think of it,
that was huge.
They were all there, and we did it with Resurrection Christian Center, which is located on Marmion
Avenue and 176th Street.
And 176, and they were the sponsor church for that year, and we connected with Timothy, and I think we've been connected since.
Yep.
You know, we've kept in touch, and he's been a part of our prayer walks before Rap Fest. And since we're talking about Rap Fest, let's just talk about Rap Fest, get it out the way. April 30th is the deadline to get in your submissions. Please send them in now. Digital submissions, easy. Just go to rapfestinc.com. Look at the top, you'll see two menus for digital submissions or mail-in submissions. Click on either one you want. Make sure you send it in to us. We want your 3 songs, your bio, your demo, reference letters, all of that stuff. All the details are there. After you read it all, you don't understand, then hit us up with an email. But read it first. Don't send me questions that could be answered on the site.
Yeah.
It happens. Like, how many songs? It's there. No, just hit us up, man. We're looking forward to exposing new ministries to what we do. Rap Fest is August 11th. We have the evangelist Nikki Cruz confirmed to be there to speak. It's going to be crazy. Nikki Cruz is a phenomenal speaker. We were actually talking about him a few seconds ago. He has
hooked up with them, yeah.
Right, that was
the same year.
Right, the same year we did Rap Fest with Resurrection Church was when Nikki Cruz was there. So this is his second time at Rap Fest. Awesome. So we're really excited to have him here. We're looking to make this year like huge. It's going to be at the same location as we had last year on 174th Street in Longfellow, the Pathmark Shopping Center, and the shopping center is excited to have us there. So we're hoping that you guys get excited about it as well. Mm-hmm. That's August 11th, all-day event, 12 to 8 p.m. Outdoors, free event. Bring everybody. Drive from wherever, fly from wherever, and hang out with us that day and just minister to the streets.
Bring your own lawn chairs.
Bring your own lawn chairs or folding chairs. If crates, if you roll that way. Maybe we should talk to Pathmark. Can you lend us some crates or put up some seats? Make it like a little amphitheater of crates. That's ghetto. That's ghetto.
Have the little kids in the shopping carts.
Yeah. No liability insurance for that kind of stuff, man. That's crazy. You can imagine there'd be racing carts down the way. What else? But yeah, definitely send in your submissions. April 30th is the deadline. That's this month. So you still have a few weeks to do it.
Yeah.
We look forward to receiving it. What else? Should we continue with all the announcements now? We'll save the announcements for later.
Yeah.
We have Timothy, honor God, Tee Holmes in the building. And we're excited to have you here, man. Why don't you take a moment, introduce yourself officially and let people know who you are. Awesome. And then we'll get into some stuff here.
So, what's going on, people? My name is, my government name is Timothy Holmes. I go by the artist name of Tee Holmes. I am a 20-year-old rapper, raised in the Bronx, currently living in Harlem. I attend City College of New York. I'm a part of a campus ministry there called InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. Do a lot of campus work there. I'm all about ministry. I'm all about using music and using teaching as a way to preach the gospel and bring forth the message of salvation for those that do not believe, and bring forth teaching for the believers to continue to grow in their walk. I was involved in Truce Ministry a while back. Kind of helped them with display and table setup. I did some sound for them. A lot of my discipleship was kind of in that ministry. That's a lot of the place where I learned to develop my gift as a Christian artist. Later started helping Andy Mineo and David Ham in their Sin is Whack movement for a little while. And now I'm trying to push forward and do my solo thing, working on a mixtape currently, and working on developing a hip-hop band. And yeah, I'm just trying to use the gifts and the resources that God is giving me and just move forward with them in faith.
And you've done all of that, and you're only 20 years old.
I'm only 20 years old.
And he just started last week.
Yeah.
Busy guy, man. That's very encouraging, and it's good you point that out. At 20 years old, to be able to even think about doing all of that is a lot, especially nowadays with so much distraction out there. But you mentioned the key points. You're grounded at a church.
Yep.
You go to school.
Yep.
It's not like you're just trying to be a rap star.
Out in the streets hustling mixtapes.
Hustling mixtapes, and then getting mad when people don't like them. Like, come on, do it for God, yo.
$15.
Yeah, buy my free mixtape for $15. But let's talk a little bit about your music background and Truce. You mentioned that you helped out Truce.
Yep.
Explain. There might be some people that don't know what Truce is.
Cool. So Truce was an urban hip hop R&B ministry run under the Nikki Cruz outreach. Nikki Cruz, the guy that Bert was talking about that will be at Rap Fest. He started a ministry specifically to reach out to the urban community through music. David Ham was the director of Truce, and he just developed a host of singers and rappers who would just build their craft and use their gifts to make songs. They came out with 3 albums. In that, I was a part of kind of the beginning of their last album called The Refuge. didn't do much ministry work with them, like as far as performing and stuff like that. But a lot of my time was spent just like going to practices, serving under them, kind of helping whatever they needed. They needed help doing sound, I would help doing sound. If they needed help running the tables and selling T-shirts, I would help sell T-shirts. My heart was kind of just to be in that community and just be with a bunch of older men and women who love God.
You heard that, Dave? Old men. I'm just saying.
Shout out to Dave Ham. Yeah, and they just being under them, watching them use their gifts, and then just being encouraged in that, and just saying like, yeah, like God has also given me a gift, and that's something that now I can aspire to be because I see it being done well.
Amen. And Truce developed, a lot of artists that are popular today.
Right.
People like Andy Mineo, who was C-Light back then.
Right.
Sheena Lee.
Alex Medina.
The producer, Reach Records.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rich Perez, who is now a pastor at a church in Washington Heights.
I think he's working on some music too.
Yeah, he has to be. How could he not?
He's on Andy Mineo's mixtape.
Right.
Just as like a sneak feature.
Yeah. Something's coming up, I think.
When it's in the blood, it's in the blood. You're not gonna let it go.
We worked with him with I Am Unique as well too, so that should be coming up soon too, which is good. He's everybody's doing a lot of good stuff.
But Truce definitely had a big impact. I was a member of Truce when it's before Dave. The first Truce movement with Brother E, Lord's Ambassador, Eric E, Sons of God, right? Who was the other one? POW. That was back in the days when Nicki first hit New York with the Run Baby Run movement and stuff. So to see David Ham do that was kind of cool as well.
Yeah.
But so were you always involved in music, at least on your own, even though you're just branching out now?
No, I mean, so I started kind of like writing poetry at first. For those that don't know, my father passed away when I was 7, and poetry and writing kind of became like therapeutic for me, just to kind of release some of the emotions I was going through, avoid me from like getting into fights or doing something crazy with my anger. I kind of like released it out on paper. Got introduced to hip hop around like that same age, 7, 8, 9. And then so
you're writing poems at 7?
I'm writing poems at 7, yeah.
Do you remember any of them?
No. I had tons of notebooks that actually got lost and like wet and like destroyed. But I mean, so through that time I didn't think anything of it. It was just kind of like my way of like keeping a diary almost. And then when I got introduced to hip hop, I was like, okay, I can kind of convert these poems into bars now.
Right.
And I can actually start like writing verses. So then my poems then began to have flows in them. They began to have rhythm, and like they started to like make sense towards a beat. But I still didn't consider myself a rapper at that point. It was kind of just like something I did to
like a hobby type stuff.
Well, it was probably more of like my therapy. Yeah, exactly. And even in Truce, like Dave would kind of put me on the spot and like tell me to go up when everybody's doing the cipher, so I would kind of have to like spit something, but I didn't see myself more than like just like kind of playing around with it, or maybe one day I'll be on a Truce song, but like I didn't ever see myself going into artistry, even with like people like Alex and Keith and Rich just encouraging me and then saying, oh yeah, you have a gift, like you should use it. Even in that, it was like, yeah, that's not for me. I didn't want to get into the hype. I didn't want to get into the lights and the fame and all this stuff that gets into being a rapper. You see even now, like there's Christian rappers that you see that like get into big like messes, and then that's all over the news, and then people and I didn't want to get stuck into that. I didn't want to get so high up that I forget where I came from.
Right.
But around like senior year in high school, it kind of got to a point where it was like God keeps confirming something in my heart. People keep confirming that there's a gift that I need to use. There were people in my church that were encouraging me. There was people in Truce that was encouraging me. And it got to a point where I couldn't ignore what God wanted to do with my gift. I couldn't ignore like my calling. And as I was like making a decision about where I wanted to go to college, I had to kind of make a decision of where I wanted my career to go. And it was around that time that I was like, all right, you know what, God, if wherever you want me to go, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pray about it, And through prayer, I kind of saw that music ministry was one of the directions that God wanted my career to go to.
Nice.
So then, in picking a college, I picked a college toward that career path.
So what are you studying now then?
So this is not going to make any sense. So I'm studying I'm studying English. Well, it kind of makes a little bit of sense.
Well,
So I'm studying English, but so I initially went to City College to study music, to be a part of the Sonic Arts program that I found out through Andy.
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, okay, like God wants me to do music ministry. This makes perfect sense. So I didn't pray about my major. I prayed about my career, and I was like, okay, God wants me to go into music ministry. What makes most sense in my head is to now go into Sonic Arts, learn how to engineer and produce and do all that other stuff, and then, like, I'll be set. And then I started praying about it through my freshman year. I was taking music classes already, and God was like, I want you to go to English. I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I kind of ignored that. But then I saw myself struggling in my music classes for no reason. Like, it wasn't that it was too hard. But it was more so that I was involved in so much. I was involved in InterVarsity. I had a part-time job at the time, and then I was a full-time student. So all this stuff packed in was kind of, and I was also involved in my church. So all this stuff packed in, it was kind of like I didn't have enough time to give to the music major that I was supposed to.
Right.
And I was barely passing my test. And it didn't really make much sense to me because I understood the work, but for some reason I would freeze up on the test. So then I was like, all right, God, you want me to go to English? I'll go to English. I changed my major. The next test I took, I got like an 85 with no, like, so it was kind of like, it was the pressure of being a music major that made me break down on tests for some reason. But then the minute I released that, and I was like, you know what, God, you want me to do English? I don't know why. It doesn't make sense, but I'll do it. My classes just started to, like, come with ease. Even though it was the same class, I still had the same responsibilities.
Right.
But so to answer your question, I'm now an English major. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know where God is taking that English major as far as music ministry. But
well, I'm glad you're taking English and you don't say tests.
Tests.
Pass my tests.
Tests.
You mentioned a couple of things I want to just explain real quick. InterVarsity.
Yep.
Explain that.
Awesome. InterVarsity is a campus ministry that is national. He's saying it's a family. That's one of those terms that, like, Christians, you don't know how to explain stuff. You're like, church is it's a family. It's like a family. Community. It doesn't really explain anything.
In other words, I'm good.
Yeah, in other words, I have no clue how to talk about this, so I'm gonna say the most broad answer I can. InterVarsity, national organization across multiple different campuses. City College is one of the campuses that has a chapter. The goal is three-pronged. We want to see people transformed by the gospel. So a part of that is making sure that our approach is outward expressed and that we're inviting non-Christians into our fellowship. We're inviting non-Christians to our events. We want them to hear the gospel. So if that means we have to go to the cafeteria and do a jam session, which we've done before, just to get the gospel out, we'll do that because our goal is to see people transformed by the gospel. Second is to see our campus renewed. Once multiple people become Christians and people are transformed by the gospel, something begins to happen where a movement starts to spark. And we believe for, like, departments to be saved in colleges. We believe for, like, groups on campus, like ethnic groups on campus, to see revival on campus. And that's kind of, so we focus on transforming people and hope that through multiple people being transformed, that the gospel then starts a renewal on campus. And then eventually, once people leave InterVarsity, they'll leave with a clearer understanding of their gifts and where God has called them to, and use that to then become a world changer, which is kind of how we reference things.
Amen. That's a good turnover. You know, mold them. Mold them and go out. One of the things you guys do at InterVarsity, I heard you guys have a concert that's coming up. That's this Thursday. At City College. And what I want to do is I want to play this promo real quick for you to see. There's a concert coming up Thursday at City College called Revolution. Check this out. We'll be right back.
family from City College and outside of City College, I want to invite you out to two things this coming Thursday, April 5th. Aeronaut Theater, remember that. 12:30 to 2 o'clock at the Aeronaut Theater is our large group. We're going to be having Andy Mineo coming. Andy Mineo is coming. Yes, that's right, Andy Mineo is coming. And from 7 o'clock to 9:30 at night is our Revolution concert. If you look at the flyer, there's a little pad with words of the revolution and the whole, like, the love. Okay, anyways. Witness, Sheena Lee, the Gospel Choir, Timothy Holmes, and Kimberly Bernard. My hope is that this Thursday, April 5th, that you will be able to come April 5th, the Revolution concert.
We living in a dark world, how they gonna know if we don't put his glory on this?
That's right. That's this Thursday at City College, the Revolution concert featuring
Tee Holmes, Sheena Lee. We're gonna have a band from Rockland called Witness. Kimberly Bernard, which is a City College student. We have City College's own gospel choir. We're gonna be doing free giveaways throughout the whole night. We have
Andy
an
Mineo.
iPad raffle. Well, Andy Mineo is gonna be there for an event prior to that.
Oh, okay.
So for any confusion, so we have an event at 12:30, which is called a large group, similar to like a service. So for any City College people out there watching, that's from 12:30 to 2. Andy Mineo is going to be there. He's going to be performing and speaking. And then at 7 o'clock, from 7 to 10, we're going to have our concert, which is separate from that. Which is, like I said, Sheena, myself, Witness, Kimberly Bernard, CCNY's Gospel Choir. The guy that you saw that was making all the funny faces and noises at the promo, he's going to be hosting it.
Cool guy.
Nah,
Cool guy.
He's not that cool. He's not that cool. So yeah, it's gonna be a great event. It's free. We have an iPad that's gonna be raffled off.
Nice.
I don't know who doesn't like free iPads.
Could we join the raffle without going to the concert?
No.
Why not?
No. I mean, you can, but we announce your name and then we're probably gonna.
Go to the next
It's not
thing.
for students only though. Or
It's not. So it's not for students. It's for anybody that wants to come.
Okay.
City
That's
college,
cool.
non-city college. It's free, whether you're a City College student or not. You can be 80 years
I think
old
I'm
or
gonna
18
go.
years old, and you'll still probably enjoy yourself.
I want an iPad.
That's 135th Street, Convent Avenue
Yep.
in New York.
Yep.
I went to school right across the street from there. Oh, good spot. Good thing, man. Sheena Lee. Actually, Sheena Lee's going to be on Rap Fest Radio
The 23rd.
on the 23rd.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sheena.
Yep. Next week, Monday, we have Gage.
Yes.
Gauge the situation. He's going to come back. This is his second interview. We haven't spoken to him for over a
while,
year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Gage is going to be here. The week after that, we have Dr. Viteri, who's going to be here. He's recently released a book nationwide called The Genesis Diet, and it's available everywhere. But we're going to talk about some stuff. He's a Rap Fest supporter as well.
Yeah.
And we've been speaking a lot of health with different artists that have come. So
Very
it was like,
important.
you know what, we should reach out to him and talk about this stuff.
Nice.
So
Sheena Lee.
Gage, Viteri,
And
Sheena
Sheena
Lee, and we'll get back with the rest eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did Into Varsity.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Concerts Thursday. That's cool. Your church, Resurrection Christian Center. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I attend church in the Bronx called Resurrection Christian Center. That's in the South Bronx, Marmion Avenue and 176th Street. It's actually the church that I got saved in.
Oh,
My mother lives down the block, so I grew up in that neighborhood. I knew there was one person in my building, one person that lived across the street that attended the church there, and there was an outdoor outreach event similar to like a rap fest, but it was just Truce and some other band that I can't remember at the moment. They were outside in Arthur Park, and I went, and at that time I told you guys that hip hop was like really influential to me. It was that seeing Truce perform was literally the only thing that made me stay, and that preached to me. Their songs preached to me. One of the songs they did I remember was Witness, yeah, I was sold. That day I came in. I asked to learn more, to be prayed for. Started going to the church, and then I kind of learned about Jesus along the way, and made a decision a couple months afterwards to just give my life to Jesus.
Awesome.
Got baptized a few months after that. Yeah, and since then I've been serving. I've done stuff with the youth ministry. I'm the main sound engineer there. Yeah, my pastors are awesome.
Yes, they are.
That's
Shout
cool.
out to the Caldonas.
Yeah, my pastors are awesome people. They have an amazing testimony. I've seen God's grace and favor move specifically in my senior pastor over the past 2 years. It's been an honor for me to just be a part of that church. I've done a lot of growing there. I've done a lot of character building there. It's been great.
Hey man, one of the things I really liked about Timothy is last year, for example, Rap Fest, we had the prayer walk, and Tim hit me up. I'm sure last year, August, you already had music in mind, songs in mind, you know, and he wasn't asking about how could I get down with Rap Fest. He wasn't asking about, yo, you think you can get somebody to get me some beats for my mixtape? He wasn't talking about, yo, I want to get some features or whatever. He was like, are you guys doing the prayer walk? If so, when? I want to get down. And sure enough, you know, the phone rings and somebody's in the parking lot with a book bag on looking for us.
Yep.
And it was Timothy, you know, and he was willing to serve. And I think that's what elevates the artist. You know, that's what moves you to that next level.
Right.
When you're willing to serve, as opposed to, you know, I'll go if there's a show. I'll go if the stage is big. I'll go if such and such person's performing only. Or if I only get half hour on stage, I go anything less. You know, all of that stuff is erased. And that's what we really appreciate about your ministry. And as we were talking about your mixtape before, you know, okay, yeah, you do know, you know, with David Ham and C-Light and Sheena and them. But God has opened some doors for you to collaborate with a lot of different artists. So mention some of the names of people that are helping you out with this upcoming mixtape. And let's talk about this mixtape.
Yeah, cool. So mixtape is going to be called Exposed. I've been through a lot of different experiences. I've seen a lot of different things. And I mean, like I said, so there's one thing that scared me coming into just like claiming to be like, oh, I'm a Christian hip hop artist now. And that was the fame that was getting so high that I forgot where I came from. So I decided to do my first project in exposing myself of some of the stuff that I've been most weak in. There's some songs that are extremely sensitive for me. There's some songs that expose a lot of different experiences that I've been through. And I decided to make a mixtape that exposes me and my character and just shows that, like, without Jesus, I am really absolutely nothing. So that's what I've been working on. I'm hoping to have that released sometime in May. I have some really awesome productions from Benjah, from Alex Medina, from Wit, from Frontliners. I'm Eshon Burgundy, so I have my website was just released, teeholmes.com. The song that's up there was produced by Eshon Burgundy. I have Chris Lee that's going to be featured on the project.
Nice.
Okay. Benjah's also going to be featured on the project. Sheena Lee's going to be featured on the project. And God is just really like that's
awesome.
That's not a testimony of like, oh, I hit up Benjah and showed them some bars and he was like, hey, yeah, I want to work with you. Like, these are people that didn't hear me prior to saying yes, and God just kind of like opened up their heart and said, yeah, I'm willing to work with you. And through that process, like, some great relationships have been built.
Now these people are going to be part of the mixtape project that's coming out.
Right.
That's awesome. You know what I want to do right now is let's go into that song that you sent us to play today. It's called Internal Mission. Tell us a little bit about it and then we'll hit it.
Awesome. So this is going to be probably like in the middle of the mixtape. It was a song that kind of just like showed like me looking at New York City and kind of assessing where the problem is in New York City. But then, so it's kind of a conversation with myself where I'm kind of assessing like these are some of the issues that I see with our culture in New York. And then I stop towards the end and you'll see that like, so the last two lines in that song is, before change comes to my hearers, I have to start with the man in the mirror. So it's assessing that there's sin problems and that there's a savior problem in our city, but not forgetting that I'm no better than anybody else. So before I speak the gospel to anybody else, I have to assess where my own heart is.
It starts with you.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Amen. Check it out. Internal Mission by Tee Holmes, produced by Eshon Burgundy. Right here, Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. And we're going to come back with more.
Awesome.
Bombay, Bombay, Bombay.
Yeah. Eshon, Tee Holmes. I got some things I want to get off my chest. I'ma just go in. Coming to you live from the Empire State where the empire waits to spit fire. Wakes can't escape my eyes. Dudes' lives fall victim to the lies that's been fed to them. Now they got the feds in them. Systems of oppression keep depression very relevant. But deceit and elegance hides what is hell's intent. Dudes think evil spirits don't exist, so they can roam in this globe and ain't feeling no resistance. They're after me, keep attacking and distracting me. They laugh every time I breathe, asking for my asthma peace. They want to see me bear pain, but they're crazy if they think my fear steers from the Lord that still reigns. No, it's Tee Holmes in the zone, indeed known and prone to give all glory to the King's throne. In meat form, killing all the pride that's inside of me, cause I see too many names fall from the dynasty exposed. I can't let it get the best of me. They stole 16 years, I won't let them get the rest of me. This is my destiny. Act Sheena Lee and see light. T's mic is here until I can't see light. It's bright what's in front of me, and I can see it clear. I'm here to spit truth until y'all see it clear. But if I can't live what I rap, to be honest, I fail to bear a true image of who God is. It's never been about the money or the fame. It's always been about seeing lives getting changed. So excuse me if I spit on a new beat and use it to see my name up on your news feed. That's stupid. This pride's gotta die, because otherwise the vanity of my songs make me just like them other guys. So I point all glory to the creator and hope that later you will see him as your savior, cause our savior ain't the president. What? Man, he's heaven sent present cause he resurrected, though he ain't a resident. I'm devastated by the mayhem that we're facing, cause we failed to stop running from the savior that's been chasing us. Who else would move from infinity to infancy to instantly? He's here to get up our sins, start diminishing. The work on the cross was great, but the reason why we worship Jesus Christ is cause he ate in the grave, son. So my response is to live and speak truth, yes, until they seek you without having seen proof. It's called faith. I embrace grace, it's amazing, right? They say the boogie down don't know how to raise them right, but I got more knowledge than your textbooks do, and I got a bigger treasure than your checkbooks do. But before change comes to my hearers, I gotta start with the man in the mirror, T.
So yeah, but that was good. We had like an off-camera interview with your how would you call him? Your host, your event host. Why don't you show your face over here real quick so people can see who you are?
This guy is my wannabe manager.
Can you see him?
Wannabe manager.
There you go. Can you see him now? Boom, there you go.
So guys, how are you? Hey Holmes.
What up, Holmes? Yeah, so he'll be hosting on Thursday, and from what I'm watching here, I think it's gonna be pretty funny.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, you know, it's encouraging to see young people on fire for God.
Yeah.
It's encouraging to see young people trying to reach other young people for God, like through InterVarsity, through the ministry. You know, and you mentioned about you were scared of getting involved in too much fame and stuff. So now that, not that we're saying that all of a sudden now you're famous because you're rapping, but what if? You know, so what is your protection against that now? And I say this for the benefit of other people that are probably doing the same thing, saying, y'all want to do this, but I don't want people to think, you know, if this takes off, then I got to stop this, stop that. You know, I want to know, what are you doing to protect yourself from any future, maybe a collapse or something?
I mean, so I think first is making sure that I'm grounded in community. So I'm grounded in multiple communities. I'm grounded in my community at church, and I'm grounded in the community of InterVarsity, and these are the people that keep me accountable. Like Ashish can probably tell you that, like, I spend tons of time just like talking to him about stuff, and then every time I speak something, now I'm accountable. I'm accountable to him because he knows. I'm accountable
Right.
to my pastor because they know something. I'm accountable to different people because I'm now sharing a part of my life with them, and
Nice.
because I'm doing that, I expect them to keep me accountable if they see me slip up. But I think the other thing is making sure I'm keeping the heart that I had last year when I found out that Rap Fest was in my neighborhood. That it's not about rapping, though rapping is cool and rapping is something I love to do, but it's about ministry. It's about seeing people get saved, and I say that in the song. It's about seeing lives getting transformed, and that's what it's about, and that's more than just rapping. And if I can keep that heart and say, you know what, Bert, I plan to be at this prayer walk this year, and I plan next year to be at this prayer walk. And if you guys are flyering, I want to be there. If you guys are talking to people, I want to be there. And making sure that I have a balance of Tee Holmes on stage and then Tee Holmes on the grounds talking to people. Tee Holmes on the grounds being a person and not just a rapper.
And that's so important, you know. And it seems like that's something that a lot of people miss, you know. And part of it is because they're not coming into it with that defense mechanism already up.
Right.
You know, some of them just get thrown into it and let's say, yo, this dude is dope, he's off the hook, he's crazy, they got him a collabo here, fly him out there, fly him out. Next thing you know, you're sucked into this whole mechanism called hip hop, and everything else is absent.
Right.
You know, you don't care about repping your church. You don't even mention your church anymore. You know, if your family, who cares? You know, you're just like, yo, I'm going over here with this group. I'm going over here with this guy. I'm on this tour, this concert. And like you said, next thing you know, you're just gone from everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, okay, Tee Holmes on stage is off the hook, and off stage he's dead.
Right.
You know, and that is a great balance. I remember when you said that too. Yo, you're going to be in my neighborhood. You give me flyers. I know where all the spots are at. He came with a book bag, just loaded up. Just for the barbershop. I need more for that. And that's the way we should be.
Right.
You know.
I just think that something really important that he said is we can't lose focus of what our goal is.
Right.
Because whatever we do, our goal should be at the end to save a soul.
Right.
That should be our goal. And I think even pastors and ministers, I think when we get caught up in politics or we get caught up in standing up for rights or whatever it may be, sometimes we lose focus. You know, are we pushing as strongly to save a soul? Are we putting that same effort to save a soul? And I think when any ministry loses focus of what our calling is, what our mandate from God is, which is to save a soul, I think that's when ministries come into a problem and we lose our identity and our purpose on this earth. You know, it's great to be a great rapper. It's great to be involved and stand up for your rights politically. It's great to stand up for injustice. But are you neglecting what your main calling is and your mandate to God? Because if you're doing that, standing up for political rights, standing up for injustice, you know what? It's a waste of time if you're not focusing on what our calling before God is.
That's big. That's big. And I got to take this moment just to mention what we did at Sanctuary 2 weeks ago. You know, with this whole Trayvon, you know, it is an unfortunate situation, and our hearts go out to the families for sure. You know, the loss of anybody is bad, you know, but definitely that injustice was bad. And unfortunately, the media has a way of making you think certain things. Like everybody thinks the iPad, everybody has to have one, you know. Like you feel like you're missing out because the media told you everybody has one. There's 14 billion of them being sold, and like, why don't I have one, you know? The media has a way of turning things around, and I know that it came to a point where that whole Trayvon situation was flipped on NYPD that really had nothing to do with it. You know, so now everybody's rocking her. And again, you do what you want. Everybody do what you want. You know, I'm not telling you can't do, you should do, don't do, or want to do, whatever. But everybody's flipping it on NYPD and rocking hoodies and saying, yo, you know, you guys acted too soon. You killed somebody unnecessarily, whatever, which is an isolated situation. Has it happened multiple times? Yeah, it happened. Has it been always the, you know, officer's fault or the authorities' fault? Sometimes it has, sometimes it hasn't, you know. But as that whole situation was going on, our pastor, George Martinez, God just put something in his heart. And what we did is we invited anyone who represents authority in New York City, police officers, border patrol, law enforcement of any kind. to come up, and we just laid hands on them and prayed for them. That
Nice.
God will continue to
Nice.
protect them and encourage them, because if you have let's think about it. My brother's a cop. I'm gonna rock a hoodie and diss him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we really have to think beyond the big scope, because the big scope is cool, but forgetting that my brother's a police officer puts me in what Alice says, loss of focus.
Right.
Because I got to stand for this.
Picture.
Yo, get out of here. I don't. Right now, I'm rocking my hoodie. You got to put it up. No, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think, and what Alice said, I just wanted to mention that, because I really look up to Pastor George for taking the action. And I got to speak. I was up there at the altar praying with these guys when they came, guys and girls, when they came up, and my heart sank. I was like, what if, what if I would have just rocked the hoodie and protest? Would that person have walked out of my church? Because we have to reach them as well.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation. I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not saying it's easy. You could have those feelings inside. I'm like, oh man, I hate NYPD or whatever. But at the same time, am I gonna lose that one person so that I rally with everybody else? It's really tough. But I'm glad she pointed that out.
And now, I don't know if you heard, but what's happening now is that they're trying to flip it even worse, and they're trying to blame the Skittle company, because people are buying Skittles.
And walking around with
people are buying Skittles and walking around with it, and now they're saying, oh, the Skittle company, they should be giving money to the cause, and they're like, but we like, it's not like they're going around promoting, oh, buy Skittles and promote Trayvon's death. Like nobody's going around saying that. So now they're trying to flip it even more, and they're taking the focus away from the fact that somebody was murdered.
Somebody lost a son.
Right.
It's somebody lost a son, and
We're talking about Skittles.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the guy in the courts. I don't remember what court it was. The older man, and he was giving his speech, and he took off his suit jacket, put on a hoodie and shades.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where they had to escort him out. Because in doing so, and that's another thing. I mean, this show's taking a whole different turn. Sorry, Tim, your music's off the hook. By the way, that song was great. But you know what I'm saying? In standing for what's right, you're doing wrong.
Right.
I question it.
Right.
That's me. If standing for what right makes me do something wrong, then what's right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that, two wrongs don't make a right. And this guy, I'm seeing this older man. I don't know how old he was or what his name was. It's on YouTube. Y'all can see. He probably got 1 million hits already. He's giving his speech, and he was speaking some good stuff. I ain't gonna front. What he was saying was awesome. The injustice is going on to our young people, and we need to encourage them. We need to look out for them. We can't. And
mocks the situation.
But then he's he rocked the hoodie and put the shades on. So the guy in authority above, sitting in the chair, and I failed economics and history and all that stuff, so don't ask me who's what. But the guy in the top, with the gavel, he's like, order, order, and they brought out the rule book and said, you're against such and such law. Like you're not supposed to wear a cap in court, and the hoodie is a part of that, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, how far do we go to stand for what we want to stand for? And do we break the law to do it? Yeah. And how much glory is God getting from that?
Just to make a point.
Just to make a point. And again, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that question.
Right. And I think the bigger thing is you have to ask: is that helping? So is rocking a hoodie gonna change the way certain NYPD officers view people of color? Is it gonna change the fact that somebody lost their son? You know what I mean? And then you have to talk about what's strategic, what's not strategic.
And last I checked, NYPD wears hoodies too.
Yeah.
So I mean, they sell NYPD hoodies. So it's tough. It's tough. I don't know if this is a Rap Fest radio call, so we didn't ask for calls. I didn't put the number. You didn't put the number up, right?
I did in the beginning.
Oh, you did. Oh. Either way, if you have something for Rap Fest Radio, please join the chat room or text us to 805-727-3378. No, I can't answer the call. Yeah. And here is awkward. We're not set up. But and again, I don't know why we're talking about this, and some people are probably going to hate us for it, but you know what? People stand for what they...
But, we're putting it out there. I think that in the end, it's about drawing the discussion and really understanding, what's the point you're trying to make. And if you're doing something that's going to cause someone to fall, if you're doing something that's going to cause someone else pain, then it's definitely against what I think our purpose is as Christians.
And it's just also, even for Tee Holmes, Holmes here. Taking a stand sometimes for what you believe is going to single you out.
Absolutely.
Taking a stand for what you believe is going to open you up for criticism. It's going to open you up to people pointing a finger at you. So, you know, it's kind of a way to make you aware, and I'm sure you are already. Yeah. But when you take a strong stance on what you believe and how you want to accomplish your ministry, you're putting more eyes on you because people are going to be scrutinizing what you do.
Absolutely.
So when you slip, you say, oh, but remember when you said XYZ and what you were going to stand for? You know, so it also works as accountability. That's what you said, because once you speak it, you're accountable to what you say. So it's just a way to make you aware and make anybody aware that once you voice something of where you stand, what your opinion is, and how you plan to do your ministry or whatever it may be, you're opening up yourself for scrutiny. So you better live up to what you say. You better be able to live up to what you say. So it's just more, you know, maybe that's why it took a turn that way, because, you know, when we take such a strong stance, you open up.
There was so many. Go ahead. You were going to say something? Oh, I thought you were saying something. You know, there's so many. There's so different. There's so many. Yeah, I'm talking to the camera. Were you going to say something? There's so many different ways of viewing this, and like I said, you know, for every political thing, social, whatever, there's different views and angles and everything, and you know, we're not the law. We're not the final word. We just have our opinions. Right. You know, that's why we do media, right? So we could talk, ask questions, and voice it. It's out there. You decide what you want to do with the information. But at the same time, when you start to think about it, you know, I like to watch Facebook after something like that goes on, you know, and see what's going on. And I have a lot of friends on my Facebook that are police officers, you know, and I'm reading the comments from these police officers who are offended by all the protesting of hoodies in churches and stuff. When they go to these churches and they're like, yo, what's going on? What about the dude from down the block that got shot in the face? You know, he wasn't rocking a hoodie, but nobody's protesting for him. You know, all of a sudden, this is big. You know, everybody's jumping on this one. You know, and again, I feel for the family, and I'm glad that people are compassionate and supporting. But I also wonder, to what extent are people really involved or just jumping on? Because in our own local community, things are happening that we're not standing up for with that same aggression. You know, we'd rather let it slide. Come on, read the police blotters. We're in the Bronx. You know what it's like. Read the police blotters. There's people dying of different things all the time, and we do nothing. But since the media, everybody else is doing it, you know, and that's where it comes into what is the media doing. And that's the same thing with gospel hip hop. You know, secular hip hop, everybody's doing this. Yo, I got to do this. They're rocking True Religion jeans that cost $400 and don't have a job. I'm gonna go buy them too. You know, and we're copycats. We're copycats, and I think as Christians we can take a stand. Or better yet, take a knee to it. Pray about it. Pray. How can we make a difference? Let's pray for all type of, whether it be racially motivated or just injustice or accidents, for all of that stuff to just stop. As opposed to, you know, I think we're just adding fuel to the fire sometimes by doing these things. And again, you know, rapfestinc@gmail.com. Hit me up. I'll take it. I mean, we'll talk about it. Whatever.
I mean, and so this is the last thing I'll say. So there's a difference too. There's a difference between like putting up a picture and then like showing honor and respect to the fact that like somebody lost their life and like having your hoodie or whatever. And then there's a difference from taking that and then having a protest fueling anger against generalizing an entire group of people that necessarily aren't the problem. And then like what you said as Christians, so there's a difference, and I want people, don't get me wrong, like there's police officers who have pictures on Facebook with hoodies just to show respect, and that's different from protesting and being angry to an entire group of people who necessarily didn't do anything. And I think that's what we're talking about. And I want to shout out real quick. There's this dude I know by the name of Gregory Moore, who is doing exactly what you said, gathering Christians this Saturday in Harlem to pray and intercede for stuff like this that's going on. And that's, as Christians, our response is to pray and to seek God.
And I think that's where we belong. You know, that's our mission. That's our purpose. That's what we're here for. to be a healing center for those that are hurting.
Right.
Not to jump on. I mean, if I can't separate you from all the crooked politics that are out there, then we have a problem. And I just think it's sad. It's sad to see people just jump on the bandwagon and not realize how many people right in front of them they're hurting. Relatives of people that are offended by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would think, imagine, and again, I'll talk about my own personal family, my brother. If my brother was to go into a church on a Sunday and find out that they were all rocking these hoodies protesting, police officers, how is he going to feel? Or better yet, what should he feel? What message are you sending him? Okay, we understand everything else.
Right.
But what about him? Do we just isolate him? Say, sorry, stand outside. You may not want to come in today. Or maybe you should just leave now. Or do you just force them to join you or just ignore them? And the church is supposed to be ready for everybody. All people come in. So again...
And then as Christians, we get mad when it happens to us. When like a preacher, a televangelist or something says something completely ridiculous on the air, and then everybody's getting mad at
all Christians. Right.
Oh, that wasn't me though. But then you're doing it. You're doing it to
You're doing that English class is working. No, but it's true. I didn't think of that. Think of that. It's the same exact thing. Such and such preacher, televangelist falls, or whatever. A local preacher falls on something. And all of a sudden you go to work and everybody's like, oh, you Christians are all alike. Exactly. And we get all upset.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's deep, yo. You going for your master's now?
No.
His doctorate?
Yeah.
His doctorate. No, but that's true, man. And again, how do we end up here? Tee Holmes, the mixtape is coming out. Man, let's get out of it.
Exposed.
Exposed. That's true.
Exposing
my thoughts.
That's important. That's important, man. You still have time to write a song about this before the tape comes out.
I should.
In a nice way.
Any producers out there that want to help me produce, holla at me.
There you go. Justin, get on it. But no, seriously.
I'm downloading the track right now.
Uploading the track right now. Soundclick.com. But it's good to speak about these things. I think many times as Christians and as young Christian artists, we overlook these things and take it to the level of, oh, we'll just pray about it, but we're not saying nothing about it. And we want people to know where we stand. My heart goes out to anyone who loses somebody, regardless of the situation. And believe it or not, even the crook that's getting nabbed by the cops and gets shot down, my heart goes out to that family that lost somebody, because they didn't have to be in that situation, and that's the compassion of a Christian, is to feel the pain, and to offer condolences for real, not just on a sympathy card, but sincerely say, you know what? How can we be of assistance to you at this point? What can we do to uplift your spirits? And we can never replace the loss, but we can be there for you and almost help you make sense of it all somehow, which is, when you're going through it, you don't want to hear that, but that's basically what we try to do, right?
Yeah.
Let's try to make sense of this all and see where God has us go from here.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do. Wow. What's today's show about? Exposed, yeah, for real. Rapfest Radio Exposed. I mean, and I want to stay away from that stuff, but once you get me talking, 2 cups of coffee, I'm in.
Yeah, you never have 2 cups.
I'm in. I knew this was happening. I knew this was coming.
Pentecostal mindset.
You set me up.
He brought it in.
Set me up. He's like, you learned that in English. That keywords to make them talk. Say the word exposed.
You start asking the question, then I become the interviewer. You become.
Yeah, that's what's been going on. Wow. That was good coffee.
That's a lot.
That was good coffee.
No, but seriously, I mean, these are things we got to talk about.
Yeah.
And as a young ministry, these are the things we're gonna face in the audiences that we rap to.
Yeah.
Like I'll ask you, who when you're writing your songs, I know right now you talk about expose and putting all your stuff out there for people to see what you're about. But when you write the song, who do you have in mind as an audience?
Yeah. So I try to keep a. I think that changes from song to song. So I have some songs that's written there that's particularly to uplift and edify the Christian. I have some songs up there that for Christians who are going through real stuff, or non-Christians who feel like Christians can't relate to them because they're going through real stuff. I have a song up there, and I'll tell you guys, I have a song up there that talks about me finding out that one of my closest friends was a rape victim, and me knowing the abuser, and how my relationship changed because of that. And just kind of like the anger, the resentment, the bitterness that kind of filled me up, and for a long time just holding that in and not being able to let it go. So I have songs like that where there's tons of people out there who are holding bitterness and anger because of something that's almost justified in our eyes.
Right.
But it's still something that's not right in the eyes of God that I had to let go. So I want to let the non-Christians know that I'm a person and I go through real experiences. I'm not a Christian that's going to pretend to say I have it all together and God is by my side. He has my back, so nothing goes wrong, and anything that goes wrong, God kind of grabs it up and takes it from me. That's just not reality. But I do also have those songs that say, like, even though life is hard, the truth says this in one of his songs, even though life is hard, God is good.
Right.
And that's a constant reminder that, like, God still sits on the throne. His grace is still sufficient. His love endures forever. And all these verses go on and on and on just to show that God's sovereignty and his presence kind of overrules anything that I'm going through. And I look to him in the source of my pain and my struggle. So I have a lot of different songs that reach out to a lot of different people.
Amen. The Reverend Tee Holmes, Reverend Tee Holmes in the building. No, but that's
I'm
wisdom.
hearing that too much.
No, that's wisdom, man. That's using the brain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And sometimes some people will be scared to put their dirt out there because they feel they're going to be judged. But apparently, you don't care.
Right.
In a sense, not that you don't care, but you're putting it out there with a purpose to let people say, "Hey, this is who I am. There's nothing hidden." Right. It's out there. You judge it as you have to. My pastor is already holding me accountable to this, which is a big part of it too.
Right.
Because if you didn't have the pastor and the friends of the Bible club and stuff to hold you accountable to what you're saying, then you could easily be another one of the regular secular rappers just writing stuff about whatever.
Exactly.
The big 26-inch rims, all that. Then you go home to a little hoopty. But and that's good stuff, man. And I appreciate you being bold enough to do it too.
I mean, I think as Christians we have to understand that if Jesus really delivered us from something, there's no reason to be shameful of it. And that's actually, I had a lot of conversations with Andy Mineo about that. Just like if God is truly God and He saved us, He delivered us, and that situation is gone from our lives, why are we not talking about it? Why are we ashamed of it? And if we're ashamed of it, that means that there's still something that's kind of harboring inside of us.
I'm sorry. I think that it's key because everything you said about what you're writing and then understanding what you've overcome, it's important to share. And as an artist, or Rap Fest Radio, Rap Fest, the event, that's what it's about, to share those things through your music. Yeah. Because you can reach, like you said, the Christians and the non-Christians in those different areas. Yeah. And who knows what your words will be able to do by showing that you're going through it or that you overcame it.
Right.
Showing them the understanding that helps them understand the community aspect, the family, the love that God wants us to share, with the viewers, or when it comes to the concerts, when it comes to the events, or when it comes to prayer walk, showing that you're there, you're not above anything else.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's big.
That's important.
That's good stuff, man.
Praise God.
I'm kind of glad you came out today, man.
Cool.
I was like, let's see what we could talk about. Tee Holmes, mixtape. Find out he got like Benjah and Alex Medina, and like I'm not worthy. But that's good, man. The mixtape. So you're looking to have it out by mid-May sometime?
Mid-May.
A Mother's Day release.
Maybe. I haven't thought about that.
Mother's Day release.
You should be my manager now.
No. I'm good.
So most of the songs are already recorded. I have a lot of it going to be mixed now. There's like one song that I'm working on with Sheena that I need to record my verses for, and some like minor stuff. But outside of that, it's really just getting mixed and mastered and being packaged well.
Good
working
stuff.
on album art and T-shirts and stuff like that.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Like a T-shirt.
Tee Holmes T-shirt.
That's original.
That's your manager.
Real original.
I do have some quick announcements that I want to make before we end here tonight, and that is Salem Coffee House is coming up.
Yes.
April 14th is the date. Who's in it?
Malachi the Truth and Jake Cabasa from Right Side Up Entertainment.
Nice. So that's April 14th,
7 o'clock.
Yep, 1408 Bryant Avenue in the Bronx.
Yep.
The Bread Factory, first Friday of May. That's May 4th. featuring Prodigal Son from Florida and Dave TV.
Dave TV. Yeah.
Prodigal Son comes down every May. This will be his third May in a row that he's been with us from Florida.
That's awesome.
So we're looking forward to it. He's bringing his family, I think, with him this time. So that's going to be really good. What else? Rap Fest Prayer Walk is going to be the week before Rap Fest, but we'll give you those details as we iron them out. We're partnering up with God Belongs in My City to do something really, really nice, for that day. I mean, we're going to do it whether they join us or not. We've done it every year. But to have them supporting us and maybe even helping us out some more details that we are overlooking as we do this, why try to reinvent the wheel? This is what they do.
Exactly.
So we're excited that they're going to be helping us out with that.
Yeah.
Submissions deadline Deadline is April 30th. So get yours in. Don't forget, Evangelist Nikki Cruz will be here with us for Rap Fest 2012.
Yeah.
That's August 11th in the Boogie Down Bronx.
Yeah.
Night before Rap Fest, currently slot to be at Calvary Church. We'll figure everything else out. I think the Sanctuary Fellowship worship team will be there again. Speaker and all that stuff will be given eventually. But what I want to do is, you think you could spit a little something for us? You knew that was coming. Yeah,
I knew it was coming. It's funny because I knew it was coming and I don't know what to say. Let's see. All right. So, I go, welcome to my world. No one wants to come in. Sending invitations while everyone is running. Loneliness drawing me into depression. Everyone in my life is searching for an exit. Man, I'm desperate. I just want acceptance. Fighting for attention. I feel like I am wrestling. Tapping into my virtual reality. Adjusting my character. Changing my morality so I can fit in. Identity is switching. I am a new person. Alter ego kicks in. Now I click into my digital lifestyle. Lies that I portray is making me feel right now. So I check my Facebook and my Twitter page. Internet life is getting me to feel okay. Searching for friends so I don't feel crazy. Confirmed, I say thanks for the ADD. I don't want to be alone no more. Loneliness causes me my pain. I don't want to be alone no more, Lord. Please take away my pain. I feel alone in the dark. I'm so alone in the dark. Lord, hear my heart. Listen, music used to be my remedy. Lies formed in me made a fictional identity. I can feel the void is what these lies kept telling me. Audio Satan had me in prison like a felony. So we believe that sex, money, and weed can hide what we feel, substitute what we need. Yeah, we live our life not addressing how our life feels. Wounds in our hearts or the pains we need to heal. Instead, we reel back like a fishing rod. Gotta do us, start neglecting that there is a God. Not realizing there's a void that is in our hearts. Polytheism, follow gods that are in our pods. I find it odd how our morals change. Music rhymes change minds and our culture's ways. So we stay in our musical obsession. Subliminal messages has us stuck in our depression.
Wow, Reverend
Tee
Holmes. Yo, that's some serious stuff, man. We're excited. Man. We can't wait for the mixtape to drop naturally. As soon as you get the songs, just send them my way. We'll keep pumping them out there and letting people know where to get it when it's available and how to download it. We'll put it on our Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff.
Do music videos?
Yes, gonna be working on a music video for the Eternal Mission song that you guys heard earlier.
Who are you working with?
I'm working with so there's a girl from my church that started a freelance production company called Stella Fish.
Okay. Nice.
I always love working with local people
That's
who
awesome.
are doing good work. So gonna be doing some of that. Actually, some of the video footage is gonna be shot at the concert on Thursday.
Cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
So just another slot for.
Wear your best.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you might be in the video. I don't know. Maybe.
No, but that's good, man.
Cool.
We're looking forward to it. Naturally, keep in touch. Let us know
Definitely.
when your songs are available. Send us anything you have, any media. Thursday's a concert at City College. You definitely want to come check it out. City College students, you know how to get the information. Everybody else, you could go to teeholmes.com and get the information. That's teeholmes.com.
Yep.
You get all the information you need for the mixtape, for the concert, and all that. The concert information is up there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, everything is up there, so you definitely check it out. Thanks for sharing that song with us as well.
Yeah.
Internal Mission, that's available now for people to hear it. They can just go to teeholmes.com and check it out. Can they download it as well?
They cannot download. I'm working on that.
They'll download it anyway. There's a way. 2012. You say they can't, but they will.
I'm sure.
It's not available to download, but
I'm sure.
Hey,
it's on the website.
Say no more. Tee Holmes. Thursday we'll be rocking over there with Sheena Lee, Witness, and a whole bunch of other people. Just check out teeholmes.com for the information. I want to leave you with the spoken word piece by The Messenger, Red Ink Army. It's called The Resurrection, which is perfect, right? Easter's coming up. We just pray that you guys have a blessed Easter week at your church. If you're one of those that only goes to church on Easter, guess what? This is your week. Start getting dressed good now. Yeah. It's on Sunday. If you could, do Good Friday as well. Yeah. Have a blessed week. We'll see you guys next week. We'll have Gage, the situation here in the studio with us. Looking forward. That should be a lot of fun.
That should be good.
Gage is good guy. Not that you're not. He's a really good guy. All right, peace, man. Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. You will learn us because we are out of control. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Due to Jewish custom, they wrapped him in spices and tightly with linen. No thought of ascension as they left the tomb. Left him alone like detention in the death position, but his mission defeated rigor mortis. Abandoned the costume and distorted their vision. When they found him missing, they couldn't perceive it. Thomas had to physically touch Jesus in order to believe it. Indeed, this seems deceiving, but the plan was much more than pain and bleeding. It's easy to read about the brutal beating or the unfair justice in the judicial proceedings, but again to agree that he rose in 3 for you and I. Rose to the sky to end what he began, so that the incomplete could be complete, along with the elite who trust in he, the resurrection. A reflection of you and I. We are required to die to our pride and lustful desires. We too must destroy this sinful empire. In other words, we too must be crucified. Just as Jesus Christ was raised from the dead through the glory of the Father, we too must be purified. Justified by faith, united through his death, and in spite of our imperfections, united through his resurrection. So we are no longer slaves to sin, yet slaves to righteousness. Jesus died to sin once and for all, but the life he lives to God, to please and to obey. Not as a facade, but fervently seeking. We must also seek the King, obediently delivering ourselves as living offerings for his glory. Have you heard his story? Is he in your inventory?